Is there to be no escape from living near Negroes? And what of the dream of middle-class respectability? If a Negro family can afford what you can afford, how do you justify your feeling of superiority?
So I don't like using the term white supremacy because the mind recreates terminology that we use. It implies that white people are supreme. I call it what it is, racism. And the only antidote to racism is knowledge of self. The more black, brown, yellow people know of their own history, the more they're able to free themselves from the clutches of racism, which is dependent upon people embracing lies as the truth.
We have to understand that this idea of white supremacy and the rights that people have, we first have to look at what is supremacy. Before we put the adjective, what describes the supremacy, what is supremacy? And it is the belief that you are better than other people. And to be supreme demands that you must have an action that proves that supremacy. And the reality of it is as we look at European history, there is nothing that they can attach themselves to that would make them supreme.
Well, I love Neely and I love Francis, and they're both my teachers. But I use the term the false notion of white supremacy, because there is no such thing as white supremacy. If you're supreme, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to exert yourself. Just your being allows you to be supreme. When you gotta murder, when you gotta rape, when you gotta distort, when you gotta lie, when you gotta deceive, when you gotta undermine, when you gotta practice genocide against other peoples in order to feel big up yourself. There's nothing supreme about you. Genetically, you have mutated psycho-spiritually, and you no longer have the capacity to contain the ethical, moral principles that make one a human being.